First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance. Reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. This defense for the Saints, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
It's taken to the 26. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Winston and the Saints now with a first and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He gets this one complete to Tre'Quan Smith. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On first and 10, Winston. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And they'll work this down inside the 30. So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a second consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
A first down throw for Winston. Olave holds it in. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Only 3 plays in here, but really, Charles, a solid start for this offense. And now we'll see if they can continue their mission to end this drive in 6.
And I wonder if their play caller right now is reflecting on that last big play that they've had on this drive. Do you come back with something similar, or do you have a counter to it to kind of show it and go to something else and create another big play?
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Steps away. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became third and long, The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
The kick by Lutz is good, and the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries...
And Winston lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Lions. Touchdown.
Well, it certainly looked to me like he tapped into the quarterback's thought process there. And what I'm hearing more and more when I go around the league, defenders sitting in on quarterback meetings trying to learn more about how they think so they can be in the right position to be in the right spot, as he was there to pick that one off and take it all the way back for a touchdown.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they make... The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it, and this is scooped up by the Lions. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. He's now lost fumbles and back. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On second down, Kamara. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A dime look defensively for the Lions on third. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was a good illustration of setting the edge as a defensive end. Being able to make sure that you stay on your feet no matter what type of block. And you're not going to get pushed inside.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Quiddy Pay able to record his 5th sack of the season. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reach.
Well, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game. And this is dropped.
Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Goff a handoff here to Swift. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. To throw is gone. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Lions at 500 now, 4-4 on the year. They were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have the home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
8 yards to go on 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Out of the gun, Goff. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Throwing on 3rd, Goff. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Pass complete. Now race for the marker. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Lions' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and the lead is up to 18 now. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say, job well done at this point, and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Winston. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards that time.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Winston now to throw on first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Lee McNeil, what an effort to get in there and drop it. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie, and that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
Now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And 3rd and 8 now. Jameis to throw it. This is Smith with a grab. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. They'll give the Kamara here on the option. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. Winston. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Jameis Winston. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Saints are able to cut into that deficit. Lutz good on the extra point, and it makes the score 21-10.
Lions 21, Saints 10. Will Lutz to kick off 41.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent offer a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw, Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Goff. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Goff on 1st down. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. From the gun, here's Goff. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to take over here up near the 40. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time. And you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
That's good.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Goff now looks to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, their first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
A 51-yard attempt.
Seibert's kick is good. And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Final play of the half here, Winston. He's going to float this one deep right side. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. On the counter, here's Kamara. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 44 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there, just one big carry.
Touchdown, New Orleans! Alvin Kamara with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints have got it back to within a score. Lots of look to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 24-17.
Next to score, Lions 24, Saints 17. Lutz to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a fair catch signal for and taken successfully.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You got to be careful right here.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Once again, it's Swift. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Goff. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, part of this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick 6 on the other side, and now they get a pick 6 of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick 6 from earlier in this game?
Offense ready to kick off their next drive. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped it. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to small up the ball carrier.
Here's Goff. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And that's now a half-dozen interceptions for him over the last 2 games. Cassidy, remember, he threw 3 in the last ball game and now 3 more here.
And the way that you present it, partner, I'm not sure what sounds worse, right? Half a dozen over the last 2 games, or 3 the last game, 3 this game. Either way, it's way too many. And that's something they'll have to work on, hoping to get through the rest of this game without having to address it again.
Here's 2nd and 8. Smith brings it in, going across the middle. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on it, and they pick up a first down.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
2nd and 8. A 10th carry for Kamara. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
The tackle by Jeff Okudah. 1st and goal.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Winston. Oh, no, he lost the football. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Lions are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. They were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst, a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows the defense to tighten up their coverage, and they picked that one off.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Flushed out right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
There goes a deep ball, end zone, and unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point. Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Play fake. Winston. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards the pickup there.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found it.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he gets it down to the 32. 109 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. A field goal try would be almost 50 yards from this spot. So what can they do to get closer now on 3rd down? On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle it behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So a big one coming now for Will Lutz. The kick by Lutz is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ballgame. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, here comes Swift. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Desperation time for Goff on 4th. Right there, that gets him 16 to move the chains. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. From here, it would be a 45-yard field goal attempt, certainly in range, but they'll look for more yardage on 3rd down. They'll try and run here with Swift. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 158 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. And with 4 seconds remaining, they will call the timeout. So just enough of a cushion there to bring on the field goal unit and try to send this one to the extra session. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. 4 seconds to go. This would send us to overtime. And his kick here is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And they will play it safe here and bring this one out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile crowd.
And you know, as the quarterback steps into the huddle, the first thing he's telling his team is, remember, we need 6, not 3. So we don't need a good drive. We need a great drive. And this is what they've been planning for. It's time to execute and take it downfield, even against all these odds.
Now the first throw in overtime for Winston. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Finds Hill on the crossing route, complete. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Well, they only need about a half a foot. It's overtime, but they're back in their own territory.
And you know those decision makers that are battling inside the head coach's mind right now? One saying, hey, offense is pretty good. Other one saying, no, rely on your defense. That's what you got to decide in this situation. Where do you have the confidence? That determines what you're going to do.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Swift going to try up the middle. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for him. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Slot man moves right. On the handoff, this is Swift. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
And he got it. The kick is good. In overtime, he's able to split the uprights. And the Lions are going to win this game. Well, partner, you and I were excited for this one today and certainly had its moments. Some good execution at times by both of these offenses. Defenses both made some plays as well. And always a joy to be up here in the booth next to you, my friend.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be up here in the booth next to you as well. Thanks for taking the time, and let's go ahead and get ready for our next one, right? I'll see you in the film room. Get that preparation started now.
So for the Lions, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, it's just their second loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until Week 11.